I, 27F, feel like my unborn baby isn't my husband's, 28M. It makes no sense at all. TL. Dear I, 27F, feel like my baby does not belong to my husband, 28M. And I can't talk to him about it because it doesn't make any sense and I don't want him to think I cheated. I have been married to my husband for 3 years. We are expecting our first child together, which was a total surprise because we were told he has few active swimmers. I have never cheated on my husband. I have never slept with another man since I've known him. I have weird intrusive thoughts that he's not the father, and what if someone got me pregnant and I didn't know it? It makes no sense. I don't go out and drink and never have. I don't party. I don't know how to explain this feeling to my husband because it's so weird. Has anyone experienced feeling like their husband is not the father of their baby without any reason? Talk to your doctor, because this sounds like some kind of pregnancy-related psychosis, which is a thing. Psychosis can be associated with pregnancy and childbirth. Amongst women who become unwell at this time, a very small number develop a psychosis. This is a rare condition, but has been recognized for centuries. She may develop odd thinking. This might include unusual ideas, such as that the baby is not hers or belongs to someone else. Read this. https://www.oxfordhealth.nhs.uk/wp-content/uploads/2014/am021.14 ICE psychosis associated with pregnancy and B. rth.pdf. Speak to a mental health professional, especially one familiar with OCD and pregnancy. Postpartum psychosis? There's also prepartum psychosis. You need to talk to your gyno and get a referral to a therapist. I'm not saying you're going crazy. I'm just saying you need to talk to someone. If this is seriously troubling you and not just moments of it weirdly crossing your mind, then I'd strongly urge you to seek a therapist and midwife. Any pregnancy-related sort of psychosis is best handled early, and I hope you can trust your husband not to assume you're cheating. It is important that he understands what is going on with you mentally and learns how to assist you. Wishing you well, and good luck. In less than a year, you will have a wonderful new addition to your life. 2 hearts, you've got this. DOCTOR. It sounds like psychosis. As many have said, the pregnancy hormones can bring on a psychosis and you need to contact your midwife or doctor as it will get worse otherwise. What I can say is that treatments for it do work, as I had a family member who suffered at her last 2 pregnancies even after the baby was born. Once she told someone she got medication and was supported, and it made a huge difference, but the sooner you get help the better. Best of luck. I have a serious mental illness and deal with a similar flavor of intrusive thoughts colored by interpersonal paranoia. Not about my baby, obviously. I'm not pregnant. Postpartum. Antipsychotics, don't touch it because it's not psychosis. I manage like this. 1. Mentally review ideas that disprove problematic thought. 2. If this doesn't work, remind self of presence of physical objects, and locate such objects that disprove problematic thought, if anything relevant exists. 3. If 1 and 2 don't work, contact a person I trust who will confirm that problematic thought isn't real. I have never had to do this, but it is extremely comforting to know it's an option. You can also write out the reasons this can't be true. I'd do a bulleted list and tuck it in a journal. I'd also tip off your husband, doc, and potentially see a therapist who can help you with the above more than I ever could. You sound familiar with intrusive thoughts and potentially OCD type thinking, so it's possible you are already doing this. If you've stopped, you need to start again. An infant is very demanding and you will not have as much room to pause and cope once they arrive. And you'll also be battling this on much less sleep. And this concerns me for you, even if I am not going to panic like half the comments here. Speak to your doctor. Just because your husband has low sperm count doesn't mean pregnancy is impossible. Sounds like you might need some mental health support. Heart. I strongly recommend seeing your doctor ASAP rather than sharing this intrusive thought with your husband. Pregnancy can trigger mental health issues that are very treatable but can be serious if untreated. Go see your OB/GYN. Get a referral to a psychiatrist if needed. And get this checked out. Definitely see a doctor. I've never been pregnant, but I do have schizoaffective disorder. I'm also a substance abuse counselor and former RN. I know a bit about psychosis. These types of thoughts can and will escalate if not brought to the attention of your physician. They'll turn into dissociation and reinforcement behaviors, which are basically actions taken to provide your mind with physical proof of these thoughts. For example, starting a conversation with a man in the grocery store and acting as though he's the father. Calling, texting him, holding his hand, etc. Creating a friendly relationship which has become romantic in your mind. I wish you the best. Sweetie, there's no shame in this at all. Just talk to your doctor and she will fix you up. Hi op. Like others, I would encourage you to reach out to your doctor and bring this up. Along with the other possibilities mentioned, it could be that you've developed OCD. It's possible for people who did not have OCD for pregnancy to be a trigger. https://www.rcpsych.ac.uk/mental health/mental health problems/perinatal/. Text equals it %20 can %20 affect %20 men %20 and the %20 trigger %20 for %20 the %20 disorder. To me, as someone who does have OCD, this sounds more like OCD since you're dealing and ruminating on an intrusive thought that you're aware isn't rational. Intrusive thoughts are often around subjects that we find to be the most uncomfortable or emotionally involved with. Also, it's totally possible to have OCD without doing compulsion like you've seen on TV, such as the repeated hand washing or door checking. Some forms of OCD are just more obsession-based. Regardless of what's going on, I would really encourage you to get help. You and your family deserve to have as peaceful and joyful of a pregnancy as you can. Please talk to your doctor, because you might feel in total control with these thoughts now, but it could spiral fast. I would talk to him before your husband, because your husband might, understandably, get upset or angry if he doesn't understand it's a mental health issue. Please get help op. Tell your doctor exactly what you wrote here. It wouldn't be the worst idea to talk to a mental health professional about your intrusive thoughts and any changes to your perspective since pregnancy. Your hormones are all over the place. Having a professional to ground you in times like this could be valuable, and they can teach you how. Or they can just talk to your husband and explain it with you there. Your belief is clearly not rational. I don't mean that in a judgmental way, just in an observational one. Based on what you said, you're aware it's not exactly rational. Nonetheless, it is persistent. That means it's probably based on something deeper than just knowing he has weak swimmers. It's coming from an emotional place, likely something in your past. To be honest, you don't understand this feeling enough yet to talk with your husband about it. You're right in worrying that it would just be confusing to him. You need to do some work to understand where this is actually coming from. What events this pregnancy is triggering. and why you're having very strong feelings that don't seem to be tied to factual possibilities. Pregnancy is extremely disorienting. Body dysmorphia, cognitive distortions, anxieties, etc., are all very common responses to that disorientation. They're normal, but they're unpleasant, and often can be made better by talking to someone with training. It sounds like it might be very helpful to you to get a therapist to talk through this disorientation and the associated emotions. Once you have a better sense of what this belief, feeling is, where it comes from and what it means, you'll be better equipped to talk to your husband about it without triggering alarm bells. Plus, a therapist will absolutely be able to coach you on how to best communicate this complicated experience to your husband in a way that will enhance your connection rather than strain it. I wish you the best of luck. I'm sure this persistent thought is extremely exhausting and unpleasant, but I'm also sure it will get better with time. Good luck. I'm rooting for you. Could it just be your brain still processing that what you thought wasn't going to happen has happened? Might take a little while to catch up. My husband and I both have darker features, yet when our son was born he came out white-skinned with blue eyes and blonde hair. For months my brain did this weird thing like, I definitely haven't been with anyone else. Have I? Single quote. Even though have never done anything that could even remotely be considered cheating. And I worried and worried that people would say something. That maybe he might think there was a chance baby wasn't his, etc. All of my fears were unfounded as baby's looks changed the older he got, and now he has my husband's exact green eyes. Skin has tanned up, blonde hair is turning brown. But the irrational weird feelings were there for a long time. Baby might come out looking like the spitting image of your husband, and all the irrational thoughts completely disappear. Another thought may be asking him whether you should get a paternity test done. And just explain you thought that this was a slim chance. And you don't ever want to give him reason to think you've stepped out on him, etc. My husband has had the snip, and I've thought to myself if I ended up pregnant I would likely insist on a DNA test to ensure there's no room for cracks. He trusts me implicitly and would probably decline it, but I think I'd still push for it because other people know he's been snipped. LMAO, I don't mean to laugh, but I had the same feeling for absolutely no reason before the last few ultrasounds. I think it's funny now. At the ultrasound where they did the 3D thing, my son literally has his face, so we can't deny it now. Lol. I think it's just an accumulation of stress. Plus I had a hard time coming to terms with even being pregnant and like feeling anything but confusion over the baby. I just kinda went through the motions of being pregnant and just like existed. Nothing really sunk in and hit me until super recently. I'm about to pop any day now, and I'm getting a few feelings of excitement finally. It's just part of the process. Some people get excited in their imaginations right when they hear they're pregnant, and others take the entire pregnancy, if not way more, to feel any connection to the baby. I have a history of major depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Takes me a long time to process changes, so I've been chalking it up to that. My doctor helped. I'm still on antidepressants and occasional anxiety medicine, but mostly I have a close friend who is very similar. She went through it 2 years ago and is totally fine now with the baby, whose insight helped me realize it's just part of the journey. You should talk to your doctor about this. Definitely an intrusive thought. Please see your doctor. There is help available. Therapy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.